and welcome to. Oh, it's going?
Well, might as well record it just in case.
Hello, and welcome to Simple, Healthy, Intellectual Talk. Tonight we are going to be talking about. I can't remember what the fuck we were talking about.
You'll find it out.
Yeah, you'll find out. It's fine. It's fine. You'll come to understand.
We just got back from Frisch's.
We were present for we were sitting in Frisch's. Normally, once a week we head to the gym, and afterwards we go to a Frisch's across the street because the staff is pretty hot, and they're all pretty chill. So we enjoy getting to know staff, piss them off and whatnot. But tonight, we were like, dude, fuck the gym. We don't have time. So we dressed as the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings and went in there and, freaked out a bunch of other patrons. And in our third hour, we had a
showed up at 8 and showed up at 7, and we were there until 10:30.
So in the third hour, we had a pack of crackheads show up out of nowhere. And I'll tell you what, these people looked rough.
To give you an idea of what these people were, so imagine your typical heroin addict with her very light purse, bleach blonde hair, wrinkles. She looks 50, but she was probably 28. That's the kind of crackhead we're dealing with.
Dude, she looked like your scrotum after you spent like 4 hours waiting in water.
Exactly. And the guy that was with them,
covered in tattoos, wearing a hoodie, gauged in the ears, whole 9 yards.
And he was the sane one, which is really surprising.
Yeah.
It didn't take much to be the sane one in this group. And then Queen Sheba of them all was your typical bowling ball on stilts. This girl, was she a brunette here? Or
she was a brunette, and she had that body type where it's like there's no ass whatsoever. It's like inverted ass. I rarely see them, and every time I see them, I have to offer a sacrifice to the booty gods because it scares the shit out of me.
It's like that, like, you know how girls like sketch on their eyebrows? Her ass was sketched on. It was not good whatsoever.
Oh yeah, no. There's nothing about it was redeeming. Even when she came in, the first thing she does, she pulls up it's your common white trash basic bitch trope. Mm-hmm. Get on FaceTime and start screaming into the microphone in the middle of a restaurant. That's 100%.
I can't stand those people. The people that stand in line, just at the DMV or wherever, in line, just, hey, like, what's up, girlfriend? Like, that's the idiots.
They're the worst of society. And I tell you what, I'm not normally for violence, but Lord, just throw a shoe at them. Shut them up.
Like, I now understand why Mexicans wear flip-flops. They are great utility weapons.
Dude, oh my God, at Subway, I got a few of them, and they come in, they're on their phone expecting me to know exactly what they want, like I am omniscient. Like freaking Subway Jesus, like, you want a foot-long turkey with provolone toasted, but half toasted because you have to be difficult. You want all the veggies on it because you don't like me and you...
Wait, when you say half toasted, do you mean they want half the sandwich toasted, or they want it toasted half as long?
They want the bitch put in there on the main setting, and they want to watch me take it out at exactly half the time.
That's such an odd request that it doesn't seem like it does anything.
And you know what the funny thing is? Sometimes I'm just like, if it's in a rush, I know, and I don't like that, I'm like, I'm putting it in the whole time.
I can see you just putting it like in a bread box. And there's no electronics to it whatsoever. And you're like, okay, it's done. Just take it out. All toasted. But anyway, good.
I'm not gonna lie. I've had it where like my coworkers being bitched at for not having cucumbers. And I was in the middle of chopping cucumbers. I damn near just almost threw the cucumber at the sandwich. Just there it is. Just put a whole ass cucumber on that sandwich.
The people that get cucumbers on sandwiches, I also would just detest.
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm craving it, I'll put some cucumber. I put my cucumbers in my salad all the time.
I'm just not a big fan of cucumbers nor pickles, so it's like...
I'll do light cucumbers on my sandwich.
I don't understand it.
I don't like pickles at all. Dude, okay. If you throw pickles on my sandwich, I'll riot.
We've gone way down this rabbit hole.
Oh my God.
So, anyway, these girls come in, bowling ball on stilts comes in first, gets her seat, and just is screaming at whoever's on the other end of the line. I imagine it's the crackheads that come in later. Anyway.
Dude, you know what it's like? It's like the John the Baptist of white trash. Like, this bitch prepared the way for the real white trash to come in.
She sits down, finishes yelling at whoever, and then goes, "Oh, I'm ready to order whatever. I'm just waiting on somebody."
Oh, no, you gotta put the context, brother. She stood up, raised her hand like she's in a class, and was like, I'm ready to order, by the way.
I didn't catch that.
I did, and I'll tell you what, as a current food service worker, I'm like, oh, that pissed him off. I knew instantly. I felt a disturbance in the food service force.
Oh.
They're pissed.
Like, just in seeing how they were treated, I can understand how they would be pissed. She gets a menu, starts looking through it. Her friends show up. By the way, the guy just has this, like, crackhead dangling on him, sorry. And she's just stumbling in. And me and you make eye contact, and then the entire staff, we have that face of,
we're sorry.
Shit's going to go down. We're like, this is not going to be pleasant whatsoever. They're going to be super chill or $400 worth of items, and you're going to get $400 worth of service. Because they're going to be those. Or you guys are going to have people that are going to try to dine and dash. And we'll get to that. But anyway, they come stumbling in, and they get the salad bar. And I'm like, you know what? It's going to be an easy night. They're going to be low maintenance. I was wrong.
Oh my God.
And
you
then
could not have been more wrong.
They were there for 2 minutes, and then they get their things, move from one end of the restaurant to the other end of the restaurant, away from everybody.
God.
Which, by the way, was the clean part of the restaurant, and the staff just goes, what are they doing? We cleaned that 20 minutes ago. We're going to close in an hour and a half.
Like they really scouted it out too. Like midway through, she's just talking on the phone, walking through the restaurant, and we're all like, dude, what the fuck is this bitch doing? And then they all just, crackhead migration just to the other end of the thing. I mean, thank God, because I didn't want them near me. I'm like, I don't want to catch crack.
Oh, yeah. I don't want that disease, yeah. And we were the only ones in there, too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very obvious who we're talking about. As their minds may have been clouded, they were very intent on who we were talking about. Dude, it didn't help we were pointing at them, but still.
So at this point, just picture two guys in floor-like black robes, just layers of black robing, and armor just sat next to them. And they had the nerve to be like, dude, don't look at us like we're weird. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
We're the poster boys for weird.
Apparently these girls come in, like, don't look at me like I'm some kind of whore. Or like, that was her thing? And I'm like, nobody's looking at you like they want to sleep with you.
Trust me, dear. We're not looking at you.
And then they just go off on their merry way, and the waitress had an ordeal.
Yeah, the waitress deserved like a $50 just charity tip.
And we're her regulars. We've never seen her this stressed.
No, because she would go over there, and every time she'd go over there, it's them like waving and snapping at her, like, come over here, come on. And
it's like you guys moved from the close end of the restaurant to the far end, and then get pissed when they don't go over, and you have to yell for them. It's Frisch's, first off. Like, it's not even, like, you shouldn't even be expecting good service. I mean,
this waitress is a nice, I want to throw that out there, because look, freaking Frisch's corpse, like, you bunch of fuckers! This waitress is a really nice girl. We've been going for about a year and a half now.
Something like that, yeah.
Ironically, after the gym, which is its own bit of comedy.
Yeah, we burn 300 calories and consume 1,300, so...
Equilibrium. It works. But she's a nice girl.
Student discount one, yeah.
She's a nice girl, and every time she come over there, it's a whole nother complaint. And then they just started making up fucking complaints. Like, in front of her, like a freaking fourth grader, this person... this human being, this member of the world,
unfortunately,
takes a napkin and smashes nothing, pretending there's a roach there.
You skipped a lot, first off.
Oh, the truly vile bits are poking out to me, right?
First thing to me was they order a sandwich, a Big Mac, and then they get...
A Big Mac at Frisch's? Dude, you're tired. You're tired.
I know, big boy, sorry. All the burgers are the same anyway.
Oh, yeah, dude. Shit, I did forget.
But anyway, she gets a big boy, and she asks for extra, what was it, tartar sauce?
Yeah.
She asks for extra tartar sauce. And the waitress, she's like, okay, I don't know how much is too much, so I'm just going to put it in a little dipping sauce container, and then...
I'll tell you what, if I was going to do it, that's the best way to do it.
That is.
Because then you don't have to use judgment, and with these types of people, you know damn well, like, you put too much, nothing could be right.
Yeah.
So she played it very...
Oh, yeah, the staff knew exactly the minute they came in.
Politically correct. That's what I call that. Fast food, politically correct.
Oh, yeah, the staff was not. They were very intent that these people are going to be assholes about everything. So we're just going to make everything as easy for us and as difficult for them to complain. She gives him this thing of tartar sauce, and it's a big container of tartar sauce. It's a good shot glass worth of tartar sauce.
And a half. That's a lot of tartar
If you
sauce.
have that much tartar sauce, like, you should not be going anywhere asking for tartar sauce. You just carry it with you.
Yeah.
She gets it, and she goes, "What's that?" And she goes, "Well, that's the tartar sauce I gave you. That's if you can put on as much or as little as you want." And she goes, "What am I supposed to do with it?" And she goes, "Put it on your sandwich." And she just goes, "Well, I didn't want this. I want mayo instead." And now she comes back, and you can tell she's fuming at this point because she goes,
set the stage for how this night is going to be.
and this is like 10 minutes into them being here. All of what we said for 10 minutes. The manager comes up. "What's going on?" And he goes, "Okay, let me get their mayo." And he gets this mayo, and it's heaping. It just like, it looks like an ice cream cone with the little like nipple on top. And he sends it to him, and she goes, "Make sure they don't forget their mayo." And I just busted up laughing. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to hear about it later. Anyway.
This is that type of manager where like he runs the show. Dude, I just don't understand how that one girl, like the pumpkin on toothpicks, how did she walk?
It looked like her back was straight, but it might have just been the fat oozing out from either side that made her parallel.
I bet she used the gravity of her stomach just like to, and each time she just moves forward a little bit.
What? Oh, that's perfectly illustrated.
Dude, 100%. If she runs, I'll bet you it just sounds like.
Dude, that's like a cat with her tail. It's like a crackhead with their gut. That's how they keep their balance.
Dude, she's like an Imperial class Star Destroyer, just like turved up, taken off of Imperial credits. Just diet.
If we end up having this in the podcast, I don't know who we're gonna attract to this podcast.
You know, I think our demographic is probably fucked at this point.
I wouldn't say fucked. I would say very slim to narrow.
Okay, no, dude, what have we done so far? We have class shamed, we have fat shamed, and depending on the translation of what Crackhead number 2 said, we have slut shamed. Because I think, okay, so there's 3 different interpretations. Like, I heard her say, "Don't look at me like I'm weird" or something.
I heard that. The waitress heard something like, "Don't look at me like I'm some kind of whore." I also heard something like, "Don't look at me like I'm 6." And then she's like, "I'm gonna go off on you all."
I didn't hear that part. I'd turn around and be like, "Well, I'm sitting here. Have at it. Keep in mind, there's a big sword sitting on the table, so go right ahead."
Okay, but
dude, that's the thing. Like, you look at like a majorly like level 10 crackhead, level 10 heroin addict. They look like fucking rats.
the time they've spent on that drug is just like a multiplier of how much time they've been on Earth. Like for meth heads, it only affects their teeth. Like you could be on meth for like 3 years, but you look like you're 35 if somebody looks at your teeth. Like heroin, you mess up everything, and you just look frail and sad. Anyway, in the story, where are we?
The road go ahead. Towards the end. That's when they're like, "Hey, I haven't had a hit of crack in too long. I'm gonna go."
Yeah, they go, "Did you see that roach run across the table?" And the roach was like, "No, I didn't."
When I heard,
because there wasn't one.
Dude, I heard that from across the room. My first thought was, "Dude, how much acid are you on?" So just whatever you got, I want some of it.
You can hallucinate a roach crawling across your burger and you take a bite. That's some good acid. But anyway.
Yeah, she takes the freaking.
Oh, they had wings too. They had like. I totally forgot about that.
So they ordered buffalo wings, I think, and then they said, "This isn't wrong. I don't want this anymore. I want."
It was like they wanted hot and they got mild, or they got mild and they wanted hot. It was one of the two. They got it mixed up.
Dude, I know the exact type. Dude,
it's like
they say they order one thing, hoping to get the freebie. Say, "Oh, I wanted it this way instead of that way."
No, that's not going to happen.
But dude, I don't think the manager wasn't having any of it. Their bill was like $40-some. So
$49.51. I have
he
video.
He charged them for everything.
And I'm going to try to put the video, at least the audio of the video, at the end of this, so people can kind of get an idea of who we're talking about. I'm going to try to blur. I'm not going to blur the faces. Fuck them. Like I know one of the girls ended up getting arrested after. Well, I'm skipping ahead quite a lot.
Oh yeah. But anyway, so they had that ordeal. The staff was like so confused, like going over receipts, looking at the menu. Like they did not order that. That was not what was put in. And the waitress, she's pretty sharp. She does her job well. So I know full well that she did not mess it up. It's just there's no one in there. There's no distraction. Like she's taking their order. So they're all confused, and they're like, "Fine, fuck it." They make it the way they wanted, I guess. They deliver it over there. Meanwhile, me and you and I are just like, dude, fuck these guys.
Any semblance of any respect we had for them. We didn't have any to begin with, but it's
No,
just
dude,
extra gone.
I saw that one girl just get on FaceTime, like any baseline human respect. I'm like, just like, nope, gone.
Are we towards the end of this now?
We're getting there. It's
Okay.
kind of like there was a 15-minute blip.
Oh, no. That was around the time they were calling him over. No, they called him over the roach.
So, okay.
That's what it was.
So they called over the waitress. They did that. They started snapping at her, like very condescendingly snapping at the waitress. And the waitress is like, no. Like she put her foot down. I was like, holy shit, that's badass. So she started pretending to be busy. And it's like, I'm not going over there. And she didn't. And then they're like, okay, fine, we'll deal with it. So in my head, I'm thinking, thank God, just shut up. Shut up. Whatever's wrong, you deserve it. Shut up. Just shut up. And about 10 minutes after that, they start bitching about a roach or something. Like a roach.
They're bitching about a roach.
Which I heard the manager say, like, it just got sprayed. So
They got sprayed 2 days ago.
there's no way there's going to... And they didn't find any then, so there's certainly not any roaches now. So they're making up these roaches. And in front of the waitress, they call the waitress over. She finally goes over. And she takes a napkin. And in front of her is like... crushes the roach in the napkin. Did you see me just kill that roach? Now, if I'd have been the waitress, I'd been like, open up the napkin. Let me see that roach. If you show me that roach right now, your entire meal is on me. And after, a pack of crack left, I walked over there. I looked into all the napkins, probably risk getting freaking HIV or some shit. Not a single roach in there. And then they said there was a dead roach on the floor. I looked down, it's a piece of fucking fudge cake.
And like, that might look like a roach, but there's no way around.
Dude, these new chocolate fudge cake made roaches, just biologically, they mixed with fudge cake. They're unstoppable.
They're delicious.
They're dangerous, man. They'll fuck your whole day up. They'll go to your car. They'll go to your house. They'll mess you up. So, yeah, now they start leaving like, we're out of here. We're not paying for anything. And the manager's having none of it. It's like, yes, you are. You're paying or we're calling the cops.
You run out, because we're getting ready to go at this point. It's like 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
You're going out and you had forgotten your wallet in the car. I'm like, okay, I'll stay in here.
That's
make sure
collateral.
things good. Yeah, exactly.
We carpooled.
Because we're cheap. We go back. You go back to get your wallet. And then I see you go out. The minute you get outside, I see you put your arms up and you just start laughing hysterically. And I'm like, what? And he goes, look outside. And then I proceed to see this car somewhat in the parking spot, but it's going across too. And what I mean by that is, if you're looking at it straight on, this car is at like a 50-degree angle.
Yeah,
they just pulled in, didn't care. So if you can imagine like Walmart parking spots, I think they thought it was that kind of parking spot. Like that's the angle at which they're parked. Just a totally obtuse angle, not in any relation to the parking spots whatsoever. And it sticks out like a sore thumb because nobody is in the parking lot. There's 3 cars.
They were almost crashing into my car. The thing was those 3 spaces away.
Yeah. But anyway, you had seen that, and then
vertical parking spot, car is almost completely horizontal, and I lose my shit.
No, it's not even completely horizontal. Because completely horizontal, you can say, well, it was intentional. I didn't know my car getting scratched or something.
It wasn't even that good.
Yeah, it was like we're just gonna pull in and then just barely.
It wasn't so bad. It was good. It was just bad.
I have a picture of it. I'll put that in the end of the video as well.
Yeah, I looked at that, skipped a few beats, and I just lost my shit. I was like, Ray, get over here and sit. You thought my parking was bad, and my parking is horrible, absolutely terrible.
And I just hit the floor laughing, and you go to get your wallet and do the exact same thing.
No, we literally I saw you on the ground, your knees had buckled, you fell to the ground, and were just laughing. And I'm closing my eyes. I tripped on my own robe, fell over, and just started rolling and kicking my feet, dying in hysterics. And then the pumpkin on stilts exits the female bathroom, probably, fresh injection.
Mm-hmm. She had long sleeves on, so not that stretch of an imagination.
So she just looks down at us, disregards us, and moves forward.
She goes back, and they're pretty upset by this time. By the way, they've been going back and forth to the bathroom like 3 or 4 times in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, so you know
So
damn
either way-
well like there is some
So
shady shit.
either
going
they're
on.
going to complain about getting food poisoning, which I can see happening because apparently they work in Inglewood and know what that.
Dude,
is
there's
all
no
about.
way they work in. Dude, you just gave away our location.
I'm gonna cut it out. Fine, okay. They work in a different
There,
Frisch's.
I do not expect this to get. This is not going to go anywhere where people are going to show up to our house. That's just not. That's not happening.
I certainly hope not.
First off, we're a bunch of dickheads. Who's going to see us? We're going to get is freaking Agnes and Bertha from the freaking music squad at our high school. Fuck. We love your podcast. Did you see a single strand of mucus like going out their nose? Like,
So my goal is to have people that I'm afraid of watch our podcast.
what the fuck? Why?
Just like I want to avoid the people that know me on the street, like in a good way. Like walk around them, and then we go to like
Dude,
some
we're
meet
talking
greet.
about
And
a
we're like,
bunch of crackheads and the Frisch's. We're not going to get like we don't even have a target demographic. We're just whoever wants to listen, give it a listen.
they're getting ready to leave. We go out and take pictures of their license plate to do the manager a solid. I don't know how they were driving that nice of a car. It looked like a 3 or 4 year old Toyota. But anyway, we go out take pictures, and I come back in, and they're getting ready to leave, and I'm like, oh no, what's going on? And the one guy is like, hey, so they didn't eat their food. I'm going to pay for mine because I ate mine. They just didn't even touch theirs. And the manager's like, no, you're paying for all of it. Someone's paying for all of it, or I'm going to call the police.
Yeah, no,
I'm
the
like-
manager was having none of that.
And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I canceled my cable subscription. This is excellent.
I was so
this is
happy.
the best $14 I've ever
We
used
were
on
going
Frisch's.
to leave, but then we're like, we probably should stay a little bit longer.
This is going to be fun. And then
So then the pumpkin on stilts gets into it because the crackhead number 2 is like, I'm just going to be snooty to the waitress. I'm not that brave to get into it with the manager. I'm going to step out. So then it's just one of those perfect just white trash arguments where it's just like she's just screaming nonsense, like going back and forth, repeating the argument the other guy's making because the manager's having none of this. The manager's a proper level 20 badass.
he's like, no, you guys have been like kind of assholes to all of my staff.
No, yeah,
You're
he's
not
like,
gonna- no.
you guys have been problematic all night. I'm not dealing with it.
And
You're
they're like-
paying, and then you're leaving, or
He's
I'm
like-
calling the cops.
He's like, you guys have been playing games all night. I'm not dealing with it. And they're like, we're going to call corporate. He's like, I have their number. Call them. And they're like, I'll do it at my own time. I'm like, he's like, yeah, that's what I thought. Now
And then
pay
she-
up $49.51.
And then she got the threat, I'm going to call the police. And like, I'll call the police.
And then they got the yeet out of there. And then
And
the
then-
guy is just taking.
No, they didn't even do that. They just were in the car.
Oh, that's right.
Until which proved to be their undoing. And then the cop a single cop showed up, and then you could tell like they were like, oh shit. So then we're all watching this, hoping that they all just get arrested, gone. So crackhead number 2 eats it and gets arrested. We leave as the second cop shows up to pick up. Well, you had to go to your house to pick up your laptop to record this train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go pick up a different thing because.
And yeah, that's the story of the crackhead at Frisch's.
So we'll just go ahead and call this Horror Stories at Frisch's. I fucking hate this. I'll let you do the outro.
You've been listening to the Simple Healthy Intellectual Talk podcast. We tried to... What?
Okay, can we not? Shut up. Hold on. We thank you for giving us a listen. If you like what you've heard here, please like, comment, and subscribe. We will be posting content on a semi-regular basis. Have a good night. You guys know it smells like shit, right? Good night.